All right. So thanks everyone for joining us again this week. I hope you guys are committed to being here every week. Let us know if you are, if you don't feel like you're getting something out of this. Let us know. Give us feedback. If you want us to cover something different, let us know that too. We can add it to our schedule. We want to give you guys what you need, right? And I don't want it to be just training, right? I want us to, build a community. I want you guys to get involved. So like I said before, we're gonna start by sharing a topic, right? And then we're going to go into activities, and I'm going to call on you guys, a couple of you guys every single week, so that I want to keep you guys accountable, and you should have been doing what you have learned, right? Filling out your activity trackers this week, and actually doing the business. Right, because we're all here to work the business and be successful at the business. So I'm going to ask you guys to share what you did this week, and give some examples of how many people, or maybe just read from your business activity tracker, like how many people you talked to, like what were your results, how successful you were. So I'm giving you advance warning. We're gonna pick on a couple of you guys, and anyway, hopefully you guys will learn from each other too. So that's definitely the goal as well. So let's get started. So tonight I labeled it Back to Basics, and we are going to talk about the 4 vital behaviors. Okay, so you guys are like, I've heard that before, right? Well, hopefully we'll share some different things. We'll dive a little deeper into the 4 vital behaviors, and we'll give you some examples of what we do. And if anybody else wants to jump in with examples, feel free. This is open. So who wants to throw out the first vital behavior? Anyone?
In order, or just any one of them?
Anyone is fine.
I know in share.
Product of the product.
Well, yeah, that was 2 different ones. So let's start with sharing first. Carl called it like invite, right? And then they kind of changed it last year to expand on it, and it's no longer invite. It's attract. What is it, Brian? Attract, share,
attract, connect, invite.
Okay. All right. I knew you know that one. Do you want to talk about that a little bit first, Brian? Or how you?
Not because I know it now.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so yeah, the vital behaviors, and first, I just want to say that each one of them is important. Not one of them doesn't hold any more importance than the other one. So when you look at them, you might say, oh, well, I do 2 out of the 4, or I do 3 out of the 4. I'm telling you guys, it's not good enough. You got to do 4 out of the 4, and you have to devote time to all 4 of them. And we're going to go over and share all those tonight. So that vital behavior there: share, attract, connect, invite. Very important vital behavior, right? Because that's what we do as coaches. So the first part of that is we share. And sharing, whether we do it when we're talking face-to-face with somebody, whether we do it with our social media posts, whether we do it in our challenge groups, sharing it's connected to the other vital behavior of being proof of the product, but it's sharing, not only your journey with everyone, not only your successes, but sharing your ups, sharing your downs, sharing about the wonderful community that you belong to. So I know probably everybody on this call does some sharing with their workouts, right? You post about your workouts, you share what you're doing, lift force coming out, you share it. Awesome. How many of you guys can say you also share about Team Engage or Engage Revolution, my people that are on here, or Michelle's people that are on here, or share about the biggest team, Team Beachbody, you know, sharing about how just being part of this community is so amazing and how it has changed you. So sharing, you know, isn't just doing your workouts, but it's about everything, the big picture. Sharing about your personal life, sharing your why, sharing your goals, sharing the reasons that you are a coach with other people. You know, very, very important. Sharing your interests that you have, sharing your obstacles that you have, sharing, you know, what it comes for me. Like, I'll give you my example for my why. A lot of my why is built around my sobriety. So that's something that I share a lot with people. And why do I do that? You know, I do it for two reasons. I do it because I have to do it, because it keeps, by doing that, it keeps my sobriety going. It's selfish, which is fine. You know, and then the other part of that, what I do, sharing that with everybody, is that so that I can attract, there's that word, right? Attract other people like me. Okay, other people who are struggling, who have struggled, who continue to struggle with the same things that I struggle with. I've struggled with in the past, I still struggle with today. You know, so I'm attracting those people, my people, you know, people like me. So sharing, attracting, and then once I do that, you know, that's where the connection part comes into it. You know, then I can connect with those people. We have something in common. We have an interest in common. And then obviously the last part of that is inviting. You know, invite, you know, to your groups, invite to Team Beachbody, invite to our team, invite to the coaching opportunity, invite to this amazing, incredible lifestyle. You know, so it doesn't always have to go in that order, right? You know, I just kind of laid it out in that order. But following that order, you know, that's what I do every single day. You know, a day does not go by where I am not doing those four things. You know, sharing my story, sharing my journey, attracting people, connecting with people, and then inviting with people. So that encompasses everything right there in that vital behavior.
You know, something that you said, Brian, really is important, and that is that, you know, sharing our story and sharing who we are. And Tracy Morrow once shared something in a leadership group that I was in that I think really made a lot of sense, because sometimes we might think, well, what part of my life am I supposed to share? And what part maybe should I not share? And she said that if you're going through a trial, you're going through something hardship, you know, like overcoming an eating disorder, or alcoholism, or whatever it is. She said, once you have overcome it, you know, or you're in that you're over the hill, you know, of that struggle, and you figured out how to overcome it, and you're in the process of overcoming, then it's okay to share it, you know. But I really love that, because it shows how we can share who we are and how we can share our story without looking like a hot mess, but being a light to those around us. And that light, going back to the bugs, that the lightning bugs or whatever that Greg was talking about, when we're a light, people will be attracted to us, you know. And part of that is sharing, maybe, what is it, like Bob Heilig says, let your inner weirdo out, you know, which means you're going to attract people who are like you, which means you're going to enjoy having them on your team. I remember one of the top coaches, I can't remember which one it was, but I remember her sharing, I think maybe at a Super Saturday, that she had built her whole team based on what she wanted to be, what she thought was cool, and what she thought was this and that. And she built this big team. And once their team was built, she realized she didn't like her team. She didn't connect with her team. And so that's why being who we are is important, you know, and letting that shine. So I just wanted to add that, but I love what you had to say there.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll also add on that, you like you said, Brian, it doesn't work unless you do all of them together. And I know a lot of you guys are good at one of them or two of them, but you're not doing all of them. Okay, consistently. That's what you got to do. For example, you might be posting your workout every day, right? You might be sharing great stories, right? But if you're sharing them to the same 30 friends, every day and you're wondering why you're not getting any new challengers, well, that kind of clues you in that, oh, okay, you're missing a piece of it, right? Even the attraction, right? You could be sharing a lot of good stuff, sharing yourself, you know, sharing your stories, which are amazing, but, you know, you know, maybe you're using hashtags, but, you know, there's not that many people that are going to search on a hashtag to find you, right? That need you, right? You've got to go search for them. That's what I do every single day, right? So, you know, it's like I go out and find people. Yes, I am posting, I am sharing, I am attracting, but we got a dog chiming in here. But if you're not reaching out and actively inviting people to follow you, like on Instagram every single day, or become, you know, friends with you on Facebook, then you're not growing. Okay. So, I mean, I encourage you guys, like, you know, do that business activity tracker, set yourself a goal of, you know, focus on Instagram. Every coach out there in Beachbody is now telling you, focus on Instagram. Okay. So go to Instagram and search on people to follow every single day. Okay, and start conversations. And when you do that, when you send them a follow request and you comment on their post and you like their stuff, you know what's going to happen? They're going to check you out. Okay, and then they're going to see, oh, what an amazing story she posted, right? Or what an amazing photo this guy has, or photos, right? Or timeline or wall or whatever, right? That's how they're going to see all your amazing content. So that's a vital behavior that most people are missing. And then, like Brian said, you know, it's the other kind of inviting as well. Once you get new people following you, you have to give them the invites every single day, every single week, whatever. You know, give them an invites to the challenge group, give them invites to the coaching opportunity. So there's different types of inviting is what I'm trying to get across to you guys, okay? But you got to be doing all types every, you know, at least every, you know, most of them every day. You know, coaching invites maybe once a week. You know, whatever schedule you guys want to come up with. So
yeah, and you can't let fear, you know, paralyze you from reaching out to somebody. You know, you have to get over that. You have to sit there and go, I'm on a mission to do something. I'm here to help somebody do something. And you can't be scared to just say, hey, I don't know you, but hey, great site or great photo or something like that, and follow them. And, you know, they'll follow you back, or they might not follow you back, but it's imperative that you don't let fear paralyze you on this.
definitely. Yeah, I've been following you this week, Scott. You've been having awesome posts and you're sharing awesome stuff. So, you know, great job. Okay, Connie, where did she go? She dropped off.
No, I made it back.
Okay.
I'm on my iPad now.
Now share, what was your second one? Your second vital behavior?
Being a product of the product was what I had said.
Yep. And what does that mean?
That means doing your workout daily, drinking your shakes, but sharing how it's making you feel. Not necessarily the product itself, but how it makes you feel. How do you feel different doing this?
Right. Because if you're not a product of the product, like if you're not using the products, if you're not doing the products, then why would anybody, then you're not going to be successful, right? Why would anybody else want to follow you, right? You know, there's so many people that are coaches that I see that, you know, they go to the gym and they're not showcasing any Beachbody workout, you know, or they're not, you know, they're doing their own thing. So, and then they wonder, you know, if they're running every day and they're posting their little, you know, watch or their activity app or whatever of the designs they're making, great. But who cares? That's not gonna get anybody to buy a challenge pack from you. That's not gonna, inspire anybody to want to do a Beachbody program with you. You're a Beachbody coach, so you need to be a product of the Beachbody products, right? You don't have to be holding up your shake, right? That's not what I'm saying, but you definitely need to be talking about the products and doing the products and leading by example. Right? You can still do other things. You can still run. You can still go to the gym, but you need to be showing people that you are, being a product of Beachbody, right?
And something to add to that too. I've had this happen in my life. I've heard other coaches, especially ones who are struggling. This past year was a rough year for a lot of coaches, even some of the coaches who are more 5-star, 6-star, 7-star diamond. And especially, I don't know, I can't speak for the guys, but I know for us ladies, when we get discouraged, a lot of times we quit taking care of ourselves. And I've spoken to several coaches, and myself included, where we got our fire back when we committed to a program, when we committed. So doing 80-day obsession and committing to finishing that program. We should all, if we're serious about coaching, we should all be doing a program start to finish. Have that schedule print it out, or know what you have to do. If you're doing 80-day obsession, you know what you have to do. But when we do that and we get results, then people get excited. They get excited about what they're seeing. I mean, think about any infomercial you see on TV. Next time you're watching TV and you see a weight loss infomercial, watch what happens up here. Ooh, wow, look at those results. They're amazing. You know what I mean? And then people want to know, what are they doing? So that's another thing. Like, in order to attract and to tell your story, it's important to get results. And sometimes, guys, we might struggle. I have a coach on my team who has PKU, and she struggles because she cannot eat the same way that everyone else does. But I see that girl get up. I see her do burpees. I see her show up every day and show the strength that she's gaining, and to show the wins that she is having along the way. Our transformations might not be drastic. They might not be overnight. But when we are being a product of the product and we are sharing that combination right there is super, super important. So I just wanted to add that.
Yep. And I just want to say too, thinking, first off, being proof of the product, I know you guys, that doesn't mean, getting to your goal, losing 50 pounds, 25 pounds, 100 pounds, and then you can say, well, now I'm finally proof of the product. That's not what that means. No matter where you're starting, beginner, middle, at your goal, you're always proof of the product. You're proof of using those products. But the thing I really want to say, though, is remember once again that word product, yes. Does it mean the programs that we do? Yes. Does it mean Shakeology? Yes. Performance line, all those tangible things, of course, that's what it means. But the product is even bigger than that. Everybody here on this call, we're proof of the product right now of Team Beachbody, okay? We're proof of the product of our teams that we're on. Our team is a product. Think of your team that you're on as a product, like I said before, and that's something that you share about. The amazing team that you're in. Think of your challenge group as a product. Your challenge group is a product. So you need to be proof of that product, posting in there every day, but sharing that product. So you're not just sharing your workouts or your workout programs or this amazing superfood shake that you're drinking. You're sharing every single product that Beachbody produces. That's your challenge groups. That's the coaching opportunity. That's Team Beachbody as a whole. That's the events that we have, the community. That's all part of proof of the product.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
There was a question just asked, and I actually have the same question. Is how do we do the quote curiosity marketing and still be Beachbody?
Connie, one thing that I do, and another coach who was doing this is like Energize and those. When I show it, I'll turn it around so you can't see Energize. You might see the back of the container or me pouring the scoop in. And I start calling my stuff Grandpa Mojo for Energize and Grandpa Hydro or Grandpa Recharge. And I give it that name, and that's what I'm calling it. They're seeing me drink it, but they don't know the name of the product. They know it by the name that I have given it. That might be one idea.
Yeah.
Okay, but like even like doing Lift 4 or Obsessed or 21 Day Fix, how do you tell people what you're doing without telling them the program?
You say stuff like so I did a post yesterday about working out. I put my hip out, and so I was finally able to do a little bit of work. And so I talked about how I was really excited to actually show up for my new program. And I'm really excited to get results. So you use words like that, like with Shakeology. I've heard some girl coaches call it unicorn juice. I would never call it that, but a grandpa juice or dragon juice is another one. That's right. But it's saying it without saying it.
Okay.
So, yeah, just ask yourself, how can I say this without saying it?
And for me, I really don't do that. You know, honestly, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't do that. You know, I'm straightforward. I tell people I'm doing Lift 4. I'm doing day 1. And I turn around and I say, would you like to do it with me? I put that in my post. So you guys can't just say, oh, I've started Lift 4. Yay. Right? You got to say, I've started Lift 4, this new program from Beachbody. Let me tell you a little bit about it. Let me tell you, you know, how it's affecting me. And would you like to come join me and do it? That's what I say. And people respond to my posts on Instagram every single time. And they say, yeah, how can I do it? How can I start it? You know?
Yeah. And another point to that, Greg, I mean, you can combo this too, you know, as long as you're not just throwing up Beachbody in every aspect, just saying you're rubber stamping Beachbody all over your body, and every post that you're doing is about Beachbody. You have to make it, you know, your real life. But again, I kind of follow what Greg does. I do a little bit of that hidden marketing, but most of the time, man, I'm pretty upfront with, you know, I'm doing P90X, or I'm doing this, or I'm drinking this. But I do on occasion use some of those, you know, stealth words, you know, like, you know, I love the grandpa go juice, man. Or that's a good one. I like
Well,
that.
mine being in a truck, it's the giddy up go.
Hey, yeah, there you go. That's good. That's a good one.
And, you know, if that works for you, do it, right? If you got people that are asking you about it, keep doing it. But from, you know, I mean, I don't ever want to like showcase a product like Shakeology, like here's Shakeology, come buy that from me, you know, in a post. I don't want to be salesy about it, but I'm more inviting people to do it with me, you know, the workouts. And then once I get them doing the workouts and they see me drinking Shakeology every single day in my challenge group, and they see me drinking Energize and all that stuff, then they're going to ask me, like, how do I get that? You know, or most of the time I'm going to offer it to them. I'm like, hey, have you thought about trying this? You know, and they'd be like, yeah, I want to try it. So.
Yeah, and if they get into your challenge group and you have a couple other your customers in there that are drinking Shakeology, they're going to sit there and go, hey, well, this person's not a coach, but they're drinking Shakeology and they're drinking it every day. I think I want to try this stuff. You know, that's how I started drinking Shakeology, you know, 8 years ago. And it's a good way to market it, you know. But I think where most people miss it, Greg, and I know I've done this on occasion too, is that invite in the message, right? I think a lot of people are just scared to put that out there and say, hey, come join my new group or something like that. They think it's salesy and pitchy, but you're never going to get somebody to just reach out and go, hey, I want to join your group if you don't ask them.
Right. Yeah. I mean, very seldom are you going to see, hey, what is that workout that you're doing every day? I want to do that with you. You know, that doesn't happen.
unless you're Armando doing the dancing in the street with his boys, then they're just going to flock to you.
Exactly. What's the name of that workout, Armando? I want to do that.
That's called a Fortnite workout.
All right. What is another one? Who wants to throw out another?
Personal development.
What's that, Pablo?
Personal development.
Oh yeah, that's a favorite. So let's see. One of my favorites is The Compound Effect. So if you guys haven't read that yet, you know, that's definitely one of my favorites. But more let me speak in general, right? I mean, and then you guys can all like add in to what your personal development is. But you know, some people say read 10 minutes of something a day, right? I mean, you can do that. That doesn't work for me. What I do is I prefer to listen, right? It's like I'm too busy to want to read. Okay, so and I read all day on the computer, so I don't want to read. So what I do is I listen to personal development, and because I don't want to just sit there and I can't do one thing at a time, right? So I got to do multiple things at a time. So whenever I'm busy, when my hands are busy but my mind is free, is when I'll be listening to personal development. So that's whenever I'm driving, okay? And I can tell you when I had Connie, you should be listening to personal development.
I do that more than I probably need to because I overdo.
Yes. So when I went to work, I had an hour commute. So I can tell you guys, I would spend 1 hour like either coming or going, listening to personal development. And I would spend the other hour talking to people on the phone. So customers and coaches, most days. Now that I don't have the commute, if I go on bike rides, I will listen. Okay. Or if I'm on an airplane or anything like that, that's when I listen. If I go out and I mow the grass, right? I mean, that's just mind-numbing activity that you have to do, right? You ladies, like when you fold laundry, when you cook dinner, can you be listening to something, right?
I mow the lawn.
Okay.
Try to cook dinner.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I cook dinner too.
I fold laundry.
I don't.
Okay. You get the point.
We got the point.
Greg's in the 1920s.
I'm the only person in the household, so guess who gets to do it all?
Yeah, you got plenty of opportunity to listen to personal development. Yes. But if you like to read, and Brian, what do you have there?
But why? Why should we even do it? I mean, why is it important? Why is personal development important?
To better ourselves in whatever area we feel our skill is lessened, we should be leading with that type of developments, reading, to better ourselves.
Why is it important to better ourselves?
Absolutely. I mean, we want to go ahead.
Because everybody wants to be their best.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really. But it
I know, I'm
helps
putting you in
us in our business as well.
Yeah,
it really elevates confidence, right? When you listen to some really good personal development, your chest bows out a little bit, you walk a little straighter, you're like, hey, I feel like I can go accomplish something after listening to this. It gives you that go juice, it really does. And day after day of listening or reading that, you start believing it and you start marching to that drum beat, and that's the power of PD. It's just powerful stuff.
And it's working on your weaknesses, not your strengths. So if you're an organized person like me, you shouldn't be reading books on how to get better organized, right? You need to be reading books on, for me, how to overcome fear or how to step out, of my comfort zone. And let me tell you guys something. I have been asked for the first time ever to be on the National Wake Up Call.
Woo! Yeah!
And
awesome.
I can tell you that scares the shit out of me. Okay. So that is like a major thing that I am going to do, and I'm going to have to overcome my fear and get it done, right? So personal development, when I started this as a coach, there would be no way I could go on a National Wake Up Call. There's no way I could talk for more than 5 minutes without, totally freaking out in front of people, So, I mean, it's going to be nuts, but it's because of personal development that I'm able to do that.
So you're going to be our PD when you do the National Wake Up Call.
Exactly.
Right. But one of the, you know, guys, with PD, there's a couple of things. One thing is we have the PD that can help build our confidence, which we definitely, it's really important to do. I know I've seen off and on, we were talking about this on my team, that we would tend to read so many books on building confidence, we forget to read books on building skills. So to really look at that and be well-rounded in, I know like John C. Maxwell's leadership books changed my life. The 21 Laws of Leadership opened my eyes up, not just as a coach, but as a parent. And you'll find that even though it's one of the 4 vital behaviors for being a coach, it leaks into every area of your life. I had a coach who has no longer really, like, she's still a coach, but she's not active, but she has taken her business to extreme levels because of what started here. So doing personal development will change everything for you if you lean in and you look at the areas of your life you need to grow. Right now, maybe we should throw a couple books out there, but a couple books that I'm reading are, I'm reading The Happiness Advantage by Shawn Achor, because I had been struggling with some negativity. And I thought, okay, gotta be happy, because being happy means that you're successful. And it's a scientific book on happiness. But the other 2 books that I've been reading, that I struggle with sales. I struggle with prospecting. I just always have. And part of that is, there's a lot of different reasons but the 2 books that I'm loving right now are, they're on sales. They're actually teaching how to, sorry, my children, turn that up. Sales EQ. And this guy goes and he teaches a lot of high-level organizations how to do sales. And I've had some really awesome aha moments on that. And then he has another one called Fanatical Prospecting. So if you're struggling in that area, that might be something that you can listen to while you're mowing the lawn and changing the oil in your truck. I don't do that, but someday I might.
Also, just to let you guys know, it's Amazon Prime Days or whatever, right? And they own Audible, and they have a deal right now that you can get 3 months of Audible for like $4.95 a month. And they give you 1 audiobook a month, right? As long as you're in the club, and you can cancel at any time. So basically, if you guys aren't aware, audiobooks are expensive, right? I mean, they're more expensive than regular books, and you can get it for less than $5 for you. So you can get 3 books for the next 3 months. So just go to audible.com. I'm sure you'll find that deal, and sign up. I recommend it.
I use Audible every day.
Yes.
I'm more of a hands-on guy with books. I just love reading a book, holding a book. I love taking my highlighter and highlighting stuff in the book, or folding the pages over, like when I read something. I asked that question before, why is it important? And it just boils down to growth. In order to, we all want to be successful in this business. We want to be successful in life. We want to be a successful parent. We want to be successful at our careers. If this isn't our, career, we want to be successful. We all want to get to that successful place. And how do you get there? You just don't wake up one day and get there. There's a process that you have to go through, and we all have to go through it. And that's a learning process. And it's learning those skills that Michelle talked about, but it's learning about yourself, what makes you tick. When I became a coach, and that was we had 3 vital behaviors, and that was one of them. I completely ignored it. I even told Greg, I said, that's dumb. I don't have to do that. Nothing was really happening with me as a coach. And I said, you know what, I'll break down and I'll read the Compound Effect. I'll make you happy, Greg. I'll read the Compound Effect. Book was amazing. Totally amazing. Changed my whole outlook on so many different things about, and not just with the coaching business, but my whole life, on what success really is and how to really achieve it, and the steps that it takes to achieve it, and the things that I need to work on, my weaknesses. It was just an eye-opening thing. And like Scott talked about, reading it empowers you. And it, got my chest going, and it gave me more confidence, and, to go over those fears. But not only that, but it kind of opened my eyes up to what personal development is all about. And I started getting more books after that. And I started asking other coaches, what are you reading? And, and in the different groups, you would share stuff. And then I read The Traveler's Gift, which is just a completely incredible book. And if you guys haven't read The Traveler's Gift by Andy Andrews yet, I know everyone on my team on this call has read it, because I just talk about it all the time. It's the most amazing, amazing book. And it's a fictional story too, so it's really fun read. But it's just an incredible book with incredible lessons in it. And it's something that will change you forever. That's what personal development does. It kind of changes you forever, and it takes you one step closer to where you want to be, to growing. And no one just wakes up successful. You have to grow into success. And that's why people don't do it, because it takes time and it takes work, but it takes that for a reason. You just don't wake up one day and get on the national wake-up call. You put in 7 years of hard work and learning, and Greg, yeah, he's got fear. Anybody would. But 7 years ago, if Greg was put on that stage, he would be like, no way, I ain't doing it. But the growth that he has went through has allowed him to do that now, and that's something that I did. And that's when my business took off, is when I started getting into personal development and applying it to my life, and my business took off. So I'm just going to end with a book now that's a really cool book. It's kind of a little different, and you might think it's kind of weird when you see it, but it's called Not Nice. Okay. And it's by Aziz, I'm going to say it wrong, Gazapura. Okay. Not Nice. And it's just basically unapologetically being yourself. That's what this book is about. Okay. It's about speaking up. It's about conquering your fear. It's about asking boldly. It's about, stop people pleasing. Now, we're in the business of, people pleasing, but it's deeper than that. It's not about, it's being too nice to the point where you're getting taken advantage of, or, it's not being productive in your life. And I know we all go through that, right? I'm a yes man, right? It's yes to everything, yes to everything, yes to everything, and I had to learn how to really stop saying yes to everything, and only save that for the most important things. But more so, this book is about building confidence in yourself, so that when you can't, so Greg, you need to read this before your wake-up call, so that you can talk to people, that you can share, that you can invite to people with, not feeling that fear, and just being really confident and being yourself. So that's my recommendation. Thanks.
I've got one for you guys. If you've ever heard of The War of Art by Steven Pressfield, it is an awesome book and teaches you why you're not doing things. It resonates this little word called resistance. The resistance in your life. Why are you not sharing with people? Why are you not engaging better in your fitness, or with your wife, or with your kids, or with your job? It outlines why we do these things, and it's a very easy read. It's not one of those mind-numbing books that you're just going, man, I don't understand what this guy's saying. It is a massively helpful book. Again, it's The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. Not The War of Art. No, yeah, The War of Art. Yep, that's it. And then also this one that I'm recently reading, it's The Little Book of Talent by Daniel Coyle. Coyle. And it's very short. This is a very prescriptive book. You can thumb through it and say, hey, here's a tip on how to do this. What are the people out there in industry, the best practices? What are they doing to achieve these certain things? So I highly recommend this. It's another really simple read, but it has lots of nuggets of gold in it, right? So it's quick, easy. I like quick and easy when I'm reading.
Yeah, I would have to say, just following back on what Brian was saying too, and is that PD was a life changer and life saver for me. I remember the day that I decided to read. My husband kept saying, you need to read this book. You need to read this book. And all I wanted is like, why would I want to read a book that wasn't interesting? I have so many kids and I want to escape. I don't want to have to work. And that was work for my brain. But I cared so much about what other people thought. And I cared so much about it that when I had a falling out with a friend, it threw me into a really, really deep depression. And I remember laying in bed one morning and saying, I want something different. I want to not care what other people think. And I didn't know if it was possible. So that day I was scrubbing carpets for our landlord's yearly inspection. And I'm on the floor scrubbing carpets, listening to Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude. And that book helped to change helped the journey to change my mindset. You know, I no longer care what this was 5.5 years ago. I don't care what people think anymore. I don't. I care about people, but I don't care what they think. And that journey started and was compounded by personal development. So it's on all levels that it affects your life.
And I'll just say real quick, the other 3 vital behaviors, the 2 that we talked about, share, attract, connect, invite, being proof of the product, those 2 will never work without personal development. So I think even though the vital behaviors aren't in any particular order, I got to put personal development as number 1.
You have to have confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know a lot of you guys are probably in that you haven't started yet, right? And you're afraid to start, or you don't know how to start. Like, oh, I've got to get everything perfect before I start. So one book that I highly recommend is a book called Start. Okay, it's Punch Fear in the Face. It's by Jon Acuff. Okay, so if you're in that boat of you need help starting, read that book. And the other one that I would recommend is The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins.
So good.
Yeah, I mean those are great. So I mean, if you struggle with procrastination, right? Read that book. I mean, it is awesome. So, and it doesn't have to be perfect, right, Michelle? Right? It's just got to get it done, right?
Yes, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be done. Feel forward.
All right, the last vital behavior. Who knows it? It's the one that's always forgotten.
Recognize.
Right. Recognize. So we all, like recognition, right? We all thrive off of recognition. And you should be recognizing your coaches, your challengers. If you're running groups, just give people shout outs, right? I mean, they feel good. It makes them feel good. It's going to make, if you give somebody a shout out for, hey, let's, give this person a shout out for posting 5 days this week, you just recognize one person, they're going to feel so good that I bet you they're not going to miss posting any more days, right? They're going to come back and they're going to do it again. So, I mean, we always think of terms of recognition of, our coaching achievements like Success Club and things like that, but just recognize, your challengers for whatever they're doing, or their coaching, or the coaches for, sharing on social media or doing the vital behaviors or anything, because we all need recognition. All right. Brian, Michelle, you got anything to add?
Just that I look at it as filling people's cup. And I can't remember who it was that was saying this, but I know it was definitely one of the coaches on my team who talked about it. She's had 9 kids, but she talked about how looking at recognition, not just at recognizing coaches and challengers, but she took it into her own life. It comes back to gratitude, which comes back to happiness. But by reaching out and recognizing others, we are helping to fill their cup. And when we look at it that way, that we're serving them by lifting them up, that I think it helps. I had to get past. I had this crazy, so I someday maybe you'll hear my story if I ever get it out, but I had a really crazy upbringing. And part of that, I did get to be in circles where there was, in our particular circle that we were in, I got to talk with people who were recognized as being high level people. And as a kid, would tell people, wow, that was amazing, you did a great job. And I would have people look at me like, yeah, okay, whatever. So it instilled a fear in me to recognize other people, because I was afraid if I recognized someone else, they could reject me. They could say, oh, well, your recognition means nothing. And that was so hard. So when I started actually recognizing people, it hurt, because I felt like, oh man, because my biggest fear at the time no longer, but was rejection. And so I was opening up my heart for them to say, oh yeah, well, yeah, thanks for whatever, But what I found is when we go in heart open, guard up, that we're allowing ourselves to pour into others and fill their cup. You know what? And if they don't appreciate you, well, that's where the personal development comes in. We get a little bit of a hard shell. Brene Brown talks about this in the book, Braving the Wilderness, about getting a hard shell, but having a soft belly. So I don't know if that's anyone else has struggled with that, but I know for me, that really held me back from recognition for a long time. Yeah, you got to read that book, Heart Open, Guard Up, Braving the Wilderness, talking about PD. If you are your own person and you want to be your own person and you struggle with constantly being controlled in the crowd, you got to read that book. It's really good.
Okay.
Heart Open, Guard Up.
No, the book is called Braving the Wilderness. Yeah, anything by Brene Brown, especially if you struggle with vulnerability and shame. She's the shame researcher. So I read every book she puts out because I've had a lot of shame battles in my life. And every time I listen to a new book, I feel like I get a little bit stronger. So
cool. I want to do a quick recognition if I can on the call because no, seriously, I am super proud of my coaches that are on the call here. Jill, Sue, Wendy, Samara, Regina, Pablo. There is a page 2 here. I don't want to miss anybody. Pablo. Sorry, guys. But anyway, if you're on the call, I didn't call your name, you're on the other page. We started with these calls. We started our own chat group, and we started our own Google Drive where we have a spreadsheet where we work together. We put all our goals in there, and that's what we're doing. We're holding each other accountable. And these guys have been awesome. They put their goals in there. They're tracking their goals. They're sharing that with everybody, being vulnerable, and they're having success with it. They're taking action. So I just want to recognize all of you guys. I'm so super, super proud of you guys. And, let's just keep that up because we're going to, finish out this year. It's going to be amazing, amazing. Thumbs up, Jill. Yes. Everybody, come on. Thumbs up. Boom,
Awesome.
boom, boom. Awesome.
That's a great idea. Maybe we could put a BAT on a Google Drive or something, and everybody can go in and put in their weekly stuff.
Mm-hmm. Because it's great. It's okay to have it up here and to write it down yourself, but when you share it with other people, when you share it and it's right there, and you open yourself up to be held accountable for it. That's such an empowerment there. Even if you're doing all the stuff and you're still, like if one of your goals is to hit Success Club 5 or 10, and each week you're tracking it and you're putting in the zeros, There's really something empowering about that, not frustrating about that. It's like you get to the point where you're like, damn it, I'm sick of putting zeros in. I'm going to do something about it. So it's, I highly suggest it. Yeah.
Okay, well, we only have a few minutes left. We went long. I mean, longer than we had planned, right, of speaking. So I want to call on a couple of people. Brian, maybe you can pick somebody. Michelle, you can pick somebody. And I'll start by picking Scott, who I already mentioned, who I saw was doing a great job of posting. Scott, why don't you – I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Why don't you share what did you do this week and what were your results and your goals and stuff like that.
Okay, I invited 65 people.
Wow.
To my challenge groups. I had a few people say yes. I had probably 15, 16 people commit to say, yeah, I'll come to your free group. So they're cycling through right now. And
how did you invite them?
So two ways. I went through a lot of my old friends, in Facebook, and I engaged them. Some people that used to be customers of mine, I've re-engaged them. Some friends of mine I've engaged just by simple, hey, just starting up a conversation. Hey man, how's it going? That's it. Just send them a quick message. Hey, how's it going? How's the family? Just kicking off a little dialogue, and then jumping in with, hey, you've seen me jump back into fitness and doing what I'm doing. I'd like to, invite you to one of my new groups that I'm doing. It's totally free. No, there's no BS. Come in, do whatever you want to do. And people are kind of flooding to it. But then I also have been, just slamming Instagram. So I've been, searching hashtags and looking for people that are like me and like the hobbies that I like. And I've been engaging, and I've really had an uptick on my following and, engagements. Now that's a long-term piece, right? That I don't expect to see any Beachbody traction with these people for 30, 60, 90 days, but that's definitely picked up. But I had a huge list, over 65 people. This next week I'm trying to get close to 100, and
that's an
really
awesome goal, and you're doing an amazing job. Yeah.
Well, the one thing that I did, I pulled the stick out of my ass. I said, I'm going to quit being scared of reaching out to people again. Right. Those of you that don't know, several years ago, I was in really great shape from Beachbody. I was kicking ass at coaching, and then I had an injury, and it really screwed me up. And I still deal with that injury. It's a permanent injury that I'm going to have for the rest of my life. But it took me out of my comfort zone where I didn't feel like I was able to reach out to people anymore, because I couldn't work out the way that I used to work out hard and that. And so I didn't feel comfortable. My comfort zone was just completely destroyed. So I stopped reaching out to people, and it destroyed my momentum. And so that led to a huge spiral down of depression and just stinking thinking. And my business kind of went to crap. Even though it went to crap, I'd done so well before. I was still making pretty good money, even 2 years, a year and a half of not coaching. I was still getting paid pretty good, but I wasn't coaching, And so I finally said, you know what? I'm tired of making excuses about this injury. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get fit. And if I can't work out as hard as I want to, I'm going to find another way. And as soon as Michelle, you said it, as soon as I committed back to it, the light switch kicked on again, and I've been full blast ever since. And everybody I talk to is, making those comments back to me. And I'm in engage mode. That's team engage mode. That's it.
Awesome. Okay. Brian, you want to pick someone?
Yeah, I am going to pick Wendy, because Wendy had a great victory yesterday, and I want her to share that.
Yeah, it was a big surprise and a big step outside of my comfort zone. So I live in an apartment building, and there's a gym down in the basement that everybody goes to. It's got good equipment, it's got good weights. So I was down there doing the first day of Lift 4. And there was a person behind me on the treadmill, and I was working away with all the weights, and she finished on the treadmill, came over and said, "Are you done with the 10s?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm done with the 10s." And so I handed them over, and I thought, okay, Wendy, you can do this. Talk to her. You've been practicing this on IG. You can do this. And I said, "So what program are you doing?" And she came out and she started talking about the fact she had no program. She was kind of doing this, kind of doing that, really liked yoga. And I said, "Wow, yoga. We've got a program. It's got all sorts of yoga on it, thanks to Ryan's post yesterday and Push to Success." So I was telling her all about that and saying, "Hey, I'm a coach. I have all sorts of programs that I can suggest to you. Tell me your challenges. Tell me what you'd like to do with exercise, and we can work things out." And she said, "Okay, well, not really interested in exercise, but my diet is terrible. 2B Mindset, yes." So started telling her about 2B Mindset, really sharing everything that it's done for me. We got onto the topic of depression, not through 2B Mindset, but yeah, she's gotten rid of depression pills. She's no longer taking them. She's feeling really good. And I was saying, okay, well, this program is fantastic because you can eat meat, and you can fill yourself out and you can still lose weight. It's a fantastic program. And then I said, okay, I got to get her contact information, hand over my phone. Hey, I was doing Lift4 from the phone. So had it there, handed it over. She gave me her Facebook contact. And I came up after our conversation when I was writing out everything that she needed to know, all the extra information, sent it off to her. She came back last night saying, yeah, she'll take a look at it. But tonight I went down for the second night of Lift4. I can barely lift my arms, just an aside. And she was down there again. And I greeted her. She was still in a good mood. And yet, she's going to take a look at it this weekend. She'll talk to me, see her again on Thursday. So I'm going down with some samples of Shakeology on Thursday. I'll have that for her because we got into that conversation too. So I'm just really proud of myself. I started into a conversation with a complete stranger, and I'm starting to make friends with this person, and there's the potential there of having my first customer. And it's just, yes, I did it.
Well, that's
Awesome. Love it.
congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Michelle, you have somebody you want to pick?
Yeah, I have got, first of all, a big shout out to all the Team Fearless coaches who got on here tonight. It just fills my heart to see you here. And I wish I could call every single one of you, but I can't. So I'm going to call on Coach Mayana, who is helping to run and opened up a 2B Mindset group and is helping to run that. So are you there, Mayana? Girl? Maybe not. Okay.
Well, she took herself off mute.
Yeah.
She's back on mute. Oh, now she's off.
You there, girl?
Can't hear you.
Okay. All right. Okay. Jennifer, you're in the hot seat.
Okay. Okay, so for me, this past 2 weeks, actually, this call actually comes at a great time for me because I'm getting back to the basics. And I was the coach that actually, like, Instagram would come up and I would try to do that, and then something else would come up and I'd try to do that, and so I was very off track. And so I decided I needed to just get back to focusing on the basics, getting all of that done. So last week, even on vacation, I started getting my posts in every single day, getting that. I posted about coaching from being on vacation. I was working on vacation and posted that. I posted what I was doing for my fitness, even though I was having technical issues and couldn't do my Beachbody workouts. I was still getting workouts in, and really digging into all of that. And actually, I had 3 people reach out to me based off of what they saw online. So that was my big win for that week. And I'm continuing that this week and adding in, now that I'm home, my workouts that I'm actually doing through Beachbody and trying to promote those through my business as well.
So how are you promoting, Jennifer?
Basically sharing my journey. I shared that I started my workouts back up. I call them my traditional workouts from home rather than just going for a walk and that sort of thing. But really digging back in, sharing my food, sharing just my life. Okay, my life is crazy. I have laundry everywhere. My dryer broke. Like crazy stuff, but still getting those little things in. I haven't trying to create curiosity marketing, but I don't quite get it yet. So I'm working on that too. So.
Well, just invite people to join you, right? And say, hey, I'm starting again or whatever. I'm starting Lift4. I'm looking for some accountability buddies. Who wants to do it with me, right?
Yeah, that's exactly the approach I took. Is because I'm trying to get people motivated back into joining me, right? So it was all that exactly what you said is join me, help keep me motivated. Hell, I need it just as much as you do, right?
Right, exactly. It's always easier for me to do it with somebody. I'm sure it's got to be the same for everyone else, right?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then it also is a great idea to throw out like Scott did, right? It's like I'm starting a group, right? And I don't want to be the only person in the group. So I'm, kind of put you on the spot to go out and find people to ask to join your group with you. So, all definitely good things. But great job, starting again and putting yourself out there. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we're out of time. So thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next week. Brian, you got something else?
No.
You're muted. You're muted.
Sorry. So you guys didn't hear my speech just
No.
No, let's get a picture real quick. I want everyone smiling. The picture I got last week was horrible because no one was smiling. So everyone smile because I'm sharing this tomorrow on Instagram. Greg.
So everybody stick your tongue out. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Sharing this product right here. Okay, guys? So everyone. Okay, awesome.
All right.
You didn't say cheese, man. The
I
hell?
hope everyone took a screenshot of that.
I'm just going to steal yours, man.
Yeah. That's right. All right. Have a good night, everyone.
Thanks for coming, guys.